Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is me, Mr. Cameron, and today I'm talking about the Constantine fan film by Crimson Verse Productions. So this is the same studio that did the Flash fan series. They've produced a lot of interesting content. Some of it I really liked, some of it I haven't. I was not a huge fan of the prequel. Not a huge fan of the prequel that came out a bit over a month ago. Then the official film came out a few hours ago. Yeah, let's talk about this thing. I have a lot of thoughts. However, before we get into it, if you haven't already voted for the Fan Film Award 2023, vote now. There are 24 incredible fan films on it, one of which being The Flash Season 1, and one of which being The Flash Season 2, both by Crimson Verse Productions. So go vote for them if you want to. If not, vote for other great fan films on the list. Besides that, let's jump into the video. Alrighty, so I really liked this fan film. I'm not gonna lie, I was very skeptical going into it, but I did like it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I think the first big criticism I have is the constant time jumps. They multiple times during it time jumped. They did like a first time jump, then a few minutes later they did a second one, and then a third one or something. They didn't want to stay in one time period. They just kept jumping times, and I feel like it was a little, like, why, in a sense? Like, if you were going to tell a story, like, this feels like it was written like a TV show. And I think that's not necessarily an issue, but it is very clear that Liam had rights for TV, not for film. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way it is. So I don't think it's, like, this film feels like if it was just a little longer, it could be like a two-part TV show. But I definitely have a lot to say about the plot. I thought it began very slow. I had no clue about that teddy bear thing. That was just, I'm guessing, some fan service. I did not know that. And then I did like the thing with Chandler with Nero in the car. I thought that was good. I did like his first fight with the weird zombie monster, whatever demon thing that was. And then I also liked the help me blood signs with the first scene with Chandler. I liked that first part of the film. I liked Neuron. I liked all that. What I didn't love at the beginning is that it didn't feel like Constantine knew about Neuron. I feel like Constantine had, like, figured out that Neuron was there and pulling the strings, and then he was like, oh, you gotta fight Chas. But I feel like for the majority of the film, Neuron's just kind of there, and it's just Chas and Constantine fighting demons, and then they're like, oh crap, we have to put Neuron in it. And then Neuron's like, oh, Chas, do your stuff, and then everything happens. Again, I feel like this is written a lot like a TV show that could have been stretched out longer. Like, episode 1 is the prequel, and they just make that a little longer. Then episode 2 would be the, like, meeting Chas episode of fight against a demon. Episode 3 would be, like the backstory of Chas, I guess. Like, they could, like, learn about Chas in a sense. And then episode 4 is the whole, like, body swap thing, and they fight and stuff, and then it's, like, the whole build-up to Chas fighting Constantine. They fight, and then eventually Constantine wins, and then episode 5 is the fight against Neuron. Like, again, I feel like it's definitely, like, possible. I feel like part of the issue is it's too messy at the beginning, because then it goes on, and they're still just fighting demons. Like, he's taking Chas under his wing, and I do like a lot of the film being like that. But again, I feel like if Neuron's the main villain, a lot of the film isn't dedicated to Neuron. Like, Chas is, but Constantine should know about the main villain he's fighting, not until before the very end. I feel like that middle gap was really annoying for me, because I feel like it was just them fighting demons, but they weren't, like, fighting demons to try to get to Neuron, or fighting demons to try to help figure out why all of these demons are coming back. They kind of just were doing their day-to-day job. Like, even if Constantine was like, there's a lot more demons than normal, we gotta figure out why, and then he finds out that it's Neuron, that would make more sense. But I feel like they're like, oh, let's just fight demons normally. And then, like, at the very end of it, Constantine's like, wait, I think something's up, and then goes to figure it out. Then he talks, like, his ghost friend, and then he finds out it's Neuron. That was, like, the part of the story I didn't love. Eventually, they got to a point in the story what I really liked, which was the body swap thing with Constantine, where Chas shot Constantine, and I actually thought he died for a second, and then they had the swap. I thought that was actually very good. I thought that was a very creative idea. It actually tricked me, but I really thought it was a creative idea. I think it's something very different, and I think they played into it so well. Like, the blue tie, I didn't even notice that until my second watch of it. I was like, oh, I should have really noticed that. But, I don't know, I just thought that was a really good idea. And then they had the whole Neuron fight. Few issues with the Neuron fight. I remember Constantine saying, like, you have 20 seconds to complete the spell. But Chas is kind of just, like, killing baddies. And then he's like, oh, crap, I need to go now help. And then he does it. Like, I feel like everything was, like, delayed. Like, they forgot that he had to do the 20-second thing. And then they're like, oh, we now have to kill Neuron. So now they kill Neuron. I don't know if I misheard something because I didn't know if I missed something with, like, the 20-second thing. Or if I missed something. But if it was really 20 seconds to trap Neuron, then that was not 20 seconds. But I did like the final fight against Neuron. I thought it was interesting. And I did like Constantine and Chas. Their chemistry was very good. I thought their chemistry throughout the whole film was very good. Yeah, I think we should just jump into 6 points. This was directed very well. I really like the way this was directed. I think this is the best Crimsonverse production edited thing. Even though I love The Flash, and that is still better than this, I think this one had more interesting shots. I think it did more interesting things with their shots than compared to the Flash, because I feel like the Flash had the same shots every time. I feel like this had more interesting shots, even though it was all in the same location. Editing this was pretty good. It looked better than I expected. It still didn't look great, but I think it looked good enough for something like this. Yeah. Acting in this was pretty good. I did like Constantine. I did like Chas. I think Liam Head was overacting a little. Not so much. Not so much that it's, like, so noticeable, but enough that it is, like, you can, like, see it's there. Like, enough to that point. I feel like he does overact a lot in this episode. I feel like it's, like, so obvious that he's, like, trying to always be edgy. And I get Constantine's edgy a lot of the time, but he's not in every scene flipping the middle finger or saying a curse word. Like, not in every single scene. I've seen Legends of Tomorrow. Like, I don't know much about Constantine, but I have seen him. He's not always so edgy. I'd say, like, 90%. But this felt like 100% of the time. They were like, how can we make this specific scene edgy? Another thing. Liam was very much promoting this as, like, a mature film. I see where he's going from, but I think if they really wanted to be dark and gritty and have that fun aspect with, like, the dark stuff, like all the cursing and stuff, I think they needed to be a little less frequent, a little more subtle almost, but, like, really lead into it. Like, I feel like there were times that it worked, sometimes that it just didn't. Like, I feel like we didn't get the energy from Liam. Like, we got the lines, but we didn't get the energy almost. Story in this was pretty good. I feel like there was a dead part in the middle, and I feel like they didn't know what they were... It felt like we were really watching a TV show that was just condensed into a film. Because I feel like they really could have... I feel like they were doing the Demon's Puff stuff. Like, what he likes doing is, like, a few episodes of, like, normalcy, then the final battle with the villain. I feel like that's just what happened here. And choreography in this was pretty good. There wasn't much, but it was good. And then the music in this was very much a soundtrack. It was very much like copyright music, minute left, copyright music, minute, copyright. Like, it felt very much like that. But I think some of the music worked, some of it didn't. But I overall liked it. I'll admit, this fan film was pretty good. I think that dead part in the middle was a little jarring at first, when I first watched it. When I went back to watch it again, when I did, like, my quicker watch through, I did like it more. I think it lost its pace in a little bit, because it didn't know what it really wanted to be. I think if it had one plot, and it really shined on that one plot, and it had Neuron more present throughout the whole thing, I think that would have really benefited the film. Because I feel like it felt like it was jumping from thing to thing just to do it. But yeah, I thought this fan film was pretty good. Overall, I really like this thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already voted for the Fan Film Awards 2023, vote. Voting is in the description, and please vote. Besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.